Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can probably tell from the title down below, I'm going to be doing a full face of first impressions. So I did a huge makeup haul about a week ago, and if you haven't seen that, I will link it up here. I did a whole video unboxing everything that I got. So today, the day has come to put it all on my face. So before we begin, I just wanted to take a second to talk about what is going on in the world right now. I mean, it's just getting worse and worse, and especially in America, I know that there are riots going on and everyone in the world is really angry about what's happening and what has happened with George Floyd. So I have been trying to educate myself on how I can help with the BLM movement, which is the Black Lives Matter movement. I myself personally have never experienced racism, but I can't imagine how that would feel. I just can't put it into words. I'm the worst at speaking about these things. I can't imagine how it would feel for someone to discriminate against me because of my skin color or because of how I look. And I'm trying to do my part, as a lot of people on social media are. A lot of people have been posting about it and really like spreading awareness about what is going on and the racism and things like that, because if you don't experience it yourself, you just kind of like turn a blind eye to it. You don't really know what it's like. I know that the police officers involved in the George Floyd murder have been charged, which is a little victory, and the justice system is trying to serve some justice. Also, thanks to all of the riots and protests that are going on. But yeah, if you want to help in the BLM movement, I will leave some links down below, and also there is a way to help without donating money. So there is a girl, I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but she has created a video on YouTube, and if you run that video in full and watch all the ads, all of the ad revenue is going to go towards the BLM movement so that they can raise even more money and raise awareness. I hope that made sense. I'm not the best at expressing myself, as you can probably tell, but I hope that all made sense. And yeah, check out the description box if you want to see the products that I use and how I got this look. Then just keep watching. Okay, so the first product I'm going to use is the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid. I've actually been using this every single day since I got it, and I put it into my skincare routine in the morning and in the evening, along with the niacinamide by the Ordinary, and it just makes my skin so soft. I've actually been loving it so much. So I'm just going to put one little drop from the pipette onto my skin, and it leaves a bit of a sticky finish, which I think is really good to put makeup onto because it really makes the makeup stick to it. So it's kind of like a primer, but even when I'm not wearing makeup, I just put this on my skin in the morning and in the evening, and literally my skin has never felt so hydrated and so soft. And this was around £8. So that is so cheap. It sinks in so quickly, and it does leave a little bit of a tacky finish. Today I've actually got a new primer to try. This is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, and I got the little mini size. It was still a bit pricey. It was around £15, but I wanted to try the mini size out before getting the full size. Really diddy. Look at it. So cute. And this has hemp-derived cannabis extract in it, which is supposed to hydrate and plump and smooth out for blissed out skin. And it also has gripping properties, which again is great to put under your makeup just to make it last all day. So I've just put a little pump on my hand, and I guess I'm just gonna apply this all over the face. Also, it's a gel-like consistency, and it definitely has that grip to it. Once I start blending it in, you can kind of feel that friction, and oh, it's very sticky. Can you see that? And it does feel very nice. We'll see how it lasts under makeup and if it makes my makeup slide around throughout the day. So I think I'm gonna do eyes first because I've got a few pigments and I'm worried that they're just gonna fall all over my face, and if I have foundation on, it's gonna make a mess. I don't have a new concealer to try, so I'm just going to prime my eyes with my regular concealer, which is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer, and I'm just blending it in with my beauty sponge. Press that product in. This is great just to hide all those little veins on the eyelids and give a smooth and clean canvas to work on. So I'm going to be using the Neon Green Pigment by Shrine, and I am so excited. Look how neon that looks in the pot. But first we need to kind of create the crease and the shape of the eyeshadow. This is not a first impression, but I'm going to go in with the Morphe and JACLYN Hill original palette, and I'm going to start by using this shade up here just throughout the crease, just so we can create that shape. We're gonna go for a weaned out shape today, I think. But yeah, I didn't pick up any new eyeshadow palettes just because I have so many already. It wasn't really necessary, and there wasn't anything that really caught my attention. But then after I received my packages, Norvina came out with the Norvina Volume 4, and it looks so beautiful. So I think I'm gonna pick that up. So that is the basic shape there. We're going to deepen it up with this shade down the bottom here. Oh, that's dark. Just on the outer corner at first, and then I'm going to blend it through into the crease. Ever so slightly bringing it into the inner crease. Hardly putting any pressure on my brush. That got very dark very quickly. I'm always so heavy-handed with my makeup. I always want to create like a natural, everyday wearable look, and it ends up always being dramatic and smoky. But it's okay, I'm not mad about it. And I'm not too worried about this outer corner here because I am going to clean it up later when I'm done with the eyes. So I want it to be super dark apparently on the outer corner. So I'm taking this brown down here. I'm going to be quite careful with this shade just because it is so dark. And then taking it 2/3 of the way onto the lid. I think that will do for now. I'm just too excited to use this pigment. I don't want to spend too much time doing all this blending and stuff. I want to create a really clean base for the pigment, so I'm going to do the trick I always do now. Like ever since I discovered it, I do it in every single look. So I'm taking a cotton bud and the Garnier Micellar water, and I'm going to use this to just carve out the crease. Then just taking my concealer again where we have removed that eyeshadow on the lid. I'm just gonna use this to clean it up even more. This is not completely necessary, to be honest, and just because when we go in with the pigment it's gonna cover all this up anyway, so you don't really need that concealer down underneath. Right, now for the start of the show, the Neon Green Pigment by the Gypsy Shrine, or I think it's just called Shrine now. Here is what it looks like. It literally looks like a neon dream. So excited. But first I'm gonna put some glitter glue down just so the pigment has something to stick to, and I got the Revolution glitter glue just because I ran out of the NYX one. That's the one I usually use always, which is also affordable, but this comes in a really cute rose gold packaging. I'm just gonna put some onto the back of my hand. Hopefully this works. And I think I'm just going to work in small sections, so just placing that where I placed the concealer onto the lid, just in the inner corner for now. And then taking that pigment on the same brush. Wow, that is amazing. It's got these little gold reflect glitter kind of things in it, which are just so beautiful, and I've never seen something so bright. Not sure if I went with the right choice with the browns, with the neutrals in the crease. I should have maybe done something green, but look how bright that is. I have no words. Yeah, make sure you do your foundation after, because look what I did. That might just be because I'm a complete mess. You're seeing this on camera, like, what the hell? I don't need to say anything. That is the most amazing pigment I've ever put on my eyes in my entire life. I think later I'm gonna maybe add some green to the outer corner just to tie everything together. Just looks kind of mismatched right now. But yeah, the glitter glue is working pretty well. It's sticking the pigment onto it. It doesn't look patchy or anything, so that's a good thing. That's a good sign. Hopefully it will make the pigment stick down all day. I don't want it coming onto my face throughout the day. Not that I'm going to go anywhere with this look today, but if I was maybe going to a festival or something, I wouldn't want the pigment falling onto my face, which I don't think anyone would want that. So, you know, oh, one side's higher than the other. I am not the queen of even cut creases. I'm just cleaning up all the fallout. So I think that looks pretty cool, but as I said, I want to add some green, a matte green or something into the crease. So I'm taking the Stacey Marie and Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival palette, and I think I'm going to go with this one down here. This shade is called Envy, and I'm going to put that just where the pigment meets that brown, which was probably a bad idea because it looks kind of patchy. I find green so hard to work with. I don't know if I'm the only one. I know Nikki Tutorial also hates using green, so I know I'm not the only one actually. So difficult. I mean, it looks more green now, doesn't it? But it looks patchy AF. But you know what? Can't do much about that right now. Okay, that's as good as we're gonna get it for now, but I am obsessed with this pigment. If I had done the outer corner and everything a bit better, it would look much better than it does right now, but you can see just how amazing that is. Now we're gonna move on to the face. I did get the Ordinary foundation, which is this one here, but it's super, super dark and I still haven't fake tanned just because I'm so lazy. And so I'm waiting to fake tan to wear this for the first time. And I also want to do a whole video on it, like with a wear test throughout the day. So we're gonna hold off on using that for now. But when you order off Sephora, you can choose a few samples. And I chose the Born This Way foundation by Too Faced. I have used this, but I haven't used it in about a year or maybe even 2 years because the shade I have is really, really light. Even more pale than I am right now, so you can imagine. So I got these testers. How cute is this? And I don't know how these shades are gonna work for me, but we're gonna try them on our face. I've never really used a sample before. I just squeeze the whole thing onto my hand. Oh, it's runny too, it's going everywhere. What disaster. So I've got those 2 shades there. I'm just gonna swatch this. I mean, that looks pretty good in itself. I don't want to really use the really pale one. I'm just going to dot this all over my face. I don't know where these accents come from. Every time I say my face, I always say my face. Ah, this is in the shade Light Beige. The other one was Snow, so yeah, that's super pale. I remember that I liked this foundation, but it never became my holy grail, and I don't remember why. But this shade is pretty perfect. It smells like coffee. Am I the only one that can smell that? But it smells nice. It looks really flawless. I might have to pick this up again in this shade. Smells like, you know what it smells like? It smells exactly like, oh, that was a lot. It smells exactly like the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. I don't know if it's coffee, but it's got some sort of scent to it. Wow, that actually looks so flawless. Face has been erased. That's how flawless it looks. But it doesn't look cakey at the moment anyway. Foundation just makes everything better. Right, that's enough of that. We are going in with concealer. Again, as I said before, I don't have a new one. The Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 08. I want to try the Hourglass concealer because I've had such good things, but it's pretty pricey. Hourglass is a very high-end brand, and I do love their products. But I am loving this foundation now that I have the right shade. I'm so happy I got this pigment though, because every time I use green eyeshadow, it never comes out pigmented enough and it always looks patchy. But with a pigment, it's not patchy at all. And you just get that pigmentation and that coverage. I'm gonna pick up all the colors once they come back in stock. I've also got the neon orange, which I'm gonna do a tutorial on that. Coming soon to my channel, hopefully. So now we're going in with the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer. This one is in the shade Macchiato. I did a full video first impression on this, so this is again not a first impression, but I did get it in my beauty haul, and I am obsessed with it. Macchiato is the perfect shade to bronze and maybe even like contour a little bit. It's that in-between shade, not too warm, not too cool, and the formula is just beautiful. I'm taking it on a duo fiber brush, and it's very buildable, so I'm never scared to go in with a lot because I know that it's not gonna be crazy and I won't be able to blend it out. So I'm taking a generous amount. I keep dipping back in and it just glides onto the skin and I just love it. It's not greasy at all. Watch my full first impressions if you want to hear more about it, because I've had enough of talking about it. I mean, you've probably had enough of me talking about it. I know they do have some cooler ones that are great for contouring. I'm gonna use my sponge to blend it in a little bit better, but to be honest, it was blended pretty much already. And I also picked up the Fenty Cream Blush in the shade Crush on Cupid. Again, is beautiful. The formula is just so nice. It's really small, but it's so cute. This one is perfect for summer. And I like to just apply this with my fingers at first. And I feel like the warmth of the finger really helps to press the product in. So now that I've got that on with my finger, I'm just going to blend it in with my sponge. Just really press the product into the skin. Okay, what do we do next? I think we need to powder, right? Again, I didn't pick up a new powder, so I'm using the Rimmel Match Perfection, which is actually quite new in my collection. I've had it for a few weeks now, and I've been using it ever since I finished my Fenty one. And this is in 001 Transparent. It's just a translucent powder, and I've really been liking it. And I also really like the puff that it comes with. I think I am just gonna quickly powder contour on top of that cream bronzer. This will also make it last all day because those two layers together will just kind of stick to each other. And if your makeup fades throughout the day, you've got two layers of contour, so it should last longer than normal. I'm also just going to go in with a tiny bit of powder blush, again, just to give those two layers and just to intensify it a bit. If I didn't put that powder on, I would have just left the cream products and I wouldn't have had to go in with a powder blush or a powder contour. Where is my, no, I can't believe it. I've literally lost every single makeup product throughout this process. Okay, I'm just going to take an ochre highlighter. The next step is a first impression. So this is the GlamGlow Glow Setter Setting Spray. And I got this because of Shannexo. This is her holy grail and she always talks about it. And the packaging is so beautiful. It's pink, but I needed a good setting spray. It's a glowy setting spray and hopefully it will just sort of help those powders sink into the skin. I put so much on. And it smells so nice. I don't even know what it smells like, but it's so good. I do feel like my skin looks a little less powdery and a little more glowy and natural. Natural, I mean, just natural. Yeah, a little bit less powdery because that powder was super matte and it just mattified everything a bit too much. So that spray just kind of brought it back to life. But I'm pretty happy with how the skin is looking. I need to finish off the eyes. So I'm just going to run the same foresty kind of green along the lower lash line. And for the next step, I picked up the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Eyeliners. I got the yellow one and the turquoise one. So this one is called Screamin', Eye Screamin'. And this one is called Fresh, Eye Fresh, I think. Fresh. I don't know which one to go for. I think, I don't know, maybe the yellow would look cool with this. That is so creamy. I always look super creepy whilst doing my lower lash line, so I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm also going to take this one just to mix them together a little bit. And hopefully that will create a more greeny kind of shade. These were so affordable. I've never tried LA Girl stuff before, but I think they were around £5. And they had some really cool colors. Super pigmented, super creamy, just glided onto the waterline so well. I don't know how long they're gonna last, but so far, I am impressed. I'm just going to apply the tiniest bit of black liner just to the upper lash line. And then quickly gonna apply some mascara. And I did get some new lashes to try. These are by Doll Beauty and they're in the style Chloe Elizabeth. They were £10 and I love the style of them. They are very unique. I haven't actually tried something like this. We've got all the little clusters. So I'm excited to try these. I'm just going to trim them and put the lash glue on them and wait for it to dry a little bit. And while I'm waiting for it to dry, I'm going to do lips. So I'm taking the MAC lip liner in Whirl and I'm going to use the NYX Lip Lingerie in the shade Teddy. I think that's a little bit too dark, so I'm going to take Bow and Arrow by KVD Beauty. I think that's a lot better now. And the KVD Beauty formula is not patchy at all, it's so nice. You need to try it out. Definitely recommend. Right, it's time to apply these lashes. They are very curled, very dramatic, but I quite like that. If I'm gonna wear false lashes, it's usually because I'm doing a dramatic look. If I'm doing an everyday look, I don't usually add falsies, but they were so easy to apply just because of the lash band, I believe. I don't even know, maybe I was just lucky. It was just luck, but both of them applied so easily. Style is not something I would usually go for, but it's pretty cool. I think we are done, guys. So this is the finished look. The eyes are not the best just because of all that patchiness and the blending and everything, but the pigment itself is amazing. I really love this setting spray, as you can probably tell by now. Not because of the finish of it, just because of how it feels on the skin, and it did soak it up, all those powders, and it made my skin look much more skin-like and less powdery. I'm really also loving this Born This Way foundation. I'm going to pick it up again in that shade that I used, which was, I don't remember now, but I will check. I'm definitely gonna pick it up. It hasn't creased or anything yet. I mean, it hasn't been on for that long, but it still looks perfect, and I love the finish. It's so flawless, but not cakey at all. I also really like this primer. It might be a combination of the two together. They just work so well. My skin also doesn't look oily yet. Again, hasn't been that long, obviously. So I will see how it lasts throughout the day to see if I fall in love with it or not, but it felt so nice, and it definitely had a really tacky feeling to it. I've been loving the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid. I've been using it every day, and I'm going to continue to use it just because I have already noticed a big difference in my skin. The Pigment, obviously amazing, beautiful, and the glitter glue really did stick it down, and I haven't got any fallout yet onto the face, so the Revolution glitter glue seems like it's pretty good. I don't know yet. I mean, it's a glitter glue. There's not really much I can say about it, but it did just stick the product on. You know my thoughts about the Fenty cream products already. I love both of them. But yeah, I quite like how my skin looks. I think it looks pretty cool. Let's do a close-up of the eyes. I've come into natural lighting so you can really see how intense that neon pigment is. And also I forgot to talk about those eyeliners by Ellie Girl, but so pigmented. I mean, I did a mix of the blue and the yellow. It kind of turned out really cool. And these lashes close up actually don't look too bad. They are very dramatic, very long, but I like them. I love how curved they are. So guys, that is the finished look using a full face of first impressions, more like a half face of first impressions. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button down below, and I hope to see you in my next one. Also, don't forget to click the links down below that I have left so you can support the BLM movement and so that we can all do our part and educate ourselves. So I hope those are helpful for you, and yes, thank you for watching, and bye bye.